Hello, I'm Karen, and today's video is a very selfish video, if I'm going to be honest. So this is a video that I just wanted to prove myself right more than anything. As you can see these are the Jiahu symbols. You would normally see them this way round. Okay, so as you can see, this top piece there is represented by these shapes here. The middle section here is actually that section there. And then this section here is this section here. Okay, now when I first came across this discovery, this was probably about 2016-17, and in 2018 I made a video about it, and then nothing really happened until the pandemic, and then I got a lot of negativity from that particular video, and it kind of upset me. And I thought, you've completely misunderstood where I've come from, but I also knew I was partly to blame because of the way I'd explained everything. So now what I've done is I've simplified it, and I'm making it a much more tactile way to show you what I actually discovered at that point and what I've discovered since then. So these are the original letters or symbols, and I personally could see English letters inside them. So for example, this looks like an S, we've got an L, this is actually an upside down F. Yep, and so I actually kept jiggling around all of these shapes and to see that I actually could make every single letter from the English alphabet, which I know these symbols was actually originally done in about 8,600 years ago. So technically, in that sense, it's not possible. But I could see these letters, and that to me, it was actually working. So I carried on doing my experiments, and I discovered that when I was trying to make a capital G, I actually did make it like this. But it just didn't kind of sit right in my mind. So what I did is I replaced this little c with a capital C, so it just looked more pleasing. So I'm going to take this one out and put it to one side. Okay, and I just did that because it was me using the English letters. Also, what I wanted to do is when I was actually writing letters, I actually did the E. It actually looks like that. Yeah, but when you're trying to fit it into there, because that and that actually is this together, and you just actually tuck that in, so that would actually create the letter E. So that's another reason for having that capital C in there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these back and show you what letters that I actually saw. We've got the O there, and I could see that you've got the consonants, not consonants, the vowels, sorry, from the English language. So we've got A, E, I, O and U. And it left me with the V shapes or the L shapes left over, which made a square. Which to me, I thought was the best thing since sliced bread. I thought I'd found the biggest discovery and everything else, and I thought that was like going to be my thing, but it didn't kind of work out like that. So but it didn't put me off, and I still carried on crocheting and looking at these, because obviously originally I was trying to find the origins of crochet, and I kind of thought that somehow the language of the written language and crochet itself was interlinked, and the symbols actually demonstrated to me that they were. So if I actually change these around so that these actually become part of a pattern, the O is a magic circle, so that's a beginning circle. If you can't crochet, I'm sorry, that bit won't make sense. A C, whether it's a capital C or a lowercase c, is still representing a chain. A V is representing it will be a treble crochet, chain one, treble crochet if you was in England. If you're in America, it's actually a double crochet, chain one, double crochet. The V, like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's a lowercase or an uppercase, it's still a V, still represents the same thing. One of these sticks represents the actual double crochet or treble crochet stitch. And you actually can create a crochet pattern. Let me utch everything up a little bit so you can actually see it. And this crochet pattern actually is the very first portion of the humble granny square. and it's this very middle section in the middle there. I've decided, just to make it be more viewable in that sense, that I would actually crochet it. So I'm actually going to begin with a magic circle, okay, and do a chain of 3. So I want to go, so I'm just making my magic circle small. I'm just going to push, I wanted to push the letters out of the way, but then you can't see them. So I've done 1 chain, 2, 3. So I've done this top section. I said a V was it's a double crochet, chain 1 if you're in America, and it's a treble crochet, chain 1 if you're in the UK. And then the straight stick on its own was just one of those stitches. So that's this first section done, and I've got another V stitch to do. There, chain 1, and do my stitch, and another, whoops, and another stitch at the side of it. I've got another V to do, so this is my third V shape there. So if you can understand crochet, that will make sense, but if you can't, sorry. And then there's one more V, so I would then do chain 1, and as you can see, I've got this one sideways. This represents a slip stitch, so if I actually pull this together and slip stitch this into the top of the third chain, you actually see that we've got this here, which is you've got a group of 3, a chain 1, a group of 3, a chain 1, a group of 3, a chain 1. And if I just carried on, I'm just going to slip stitch over. So then, because obviously this is only the first round of a pattern, and if I carried on, I would then start from there, and I would then do my stitching, and it would actually, so that piece there is that middle section there, which goes into a square when you actually carry on with the pattern. Okay, now I thought that this was really, really amazing, and it's like, that how is it even possible that an ancient Chinese set of symbols could actually turn into a crochet pattern? I can't explain that. I don't know how to explain that, but what I have done is since then I've carried on working with the letters. So what I'm going to do is just push these to one side a minute and show you. So say for example I wanted to create a letter P, it would be done like this. Yeah, and I actually, because of the way that everything worked, my letter R, to try and be to sit nicely with everything, ended up being like this, like that. So we've got the R. I did actually make a smaller O to be able to carry on. Okay, and so, and what I did is I actually discovered that you could actually make the very first round of crochet patterns from words. So this, for example, this little bag is just a little drawstring bag, very simplistic, and it's lovely. It's got a fabulous join down the middle, really, really the neatest join I've probably ever seen in anything I've ever crocheted. I love this. I actually made a bigger size of this there, because what I'm going to do is show you, this is actually to fit some lovely little cards in. These are actually going to be a gift for somebody, but the actual bag itself is from the word prosperity. Okay, and these here, so this is created from, the middle section is the letter A, so it's a, and the rest of it is what you get from doing word. This one is a God. Okay, and I just wanted to me, it's demonstrating that there is a definite link between letters, so the actual writing, and crochet itself. And it made me wonder, because I know it's really hard to remember a pattern once I've actually written it. For me to memorize it, it's really hard. I have to practice it over and over and over again, and then do it ready for a video. But with a word, you can remember that word. So you can remember that the word is prosperity to be able to create this particular bag. And if you know that how the method is working, that you're actually going to break things down, so you've got a tiny P, and the O and the R, etc., to be able to make the prosperity, you will then be able to remember how to make the bag. God, we know how to spell God. And so I just wanted to share this just to prove more to myself that this is definitely working. It's definitely a thing. I don't know how it actually works, but to me it was significantly important, and I just wanted just to just to share that, really. So what I'm going to do is just put everything back to the very beginning, just so that you can see that 8,600 years ago somebody carved into a tortoise shell these symbols. I'm just going to swap that back for the lowercase one there, for that there. They carved these symbols into a tortoise shell, and then it was buried with the things that are at that site in Jiahu. Okay, so just move those out of the way. And so this there, so the Chinese symbols from Jiahu crochet up a granny square. Okay, whoopsie daisy. That's the little of the, it's the first round. Every word that I ever use is only ever the first round of a particular pattern, but it can be done. I've demonstrated it, and I would actually like to be able to do you a little video to share with you how to crochet. You can't see that bag very well because of the light, so that's why I've actually got this one. So to show you how to crochet the little bag, the little flowers, but to do them from words, to actually show you how you can actually memorize a crochet pattern. And if it's all just some strange coincidence, then so be it. But to me, I did think that it was something, and especially when I could see that I could actually create A-E-I-O-U and have this square, to me it was something significant. So and to be able to make it more tactile, hopefully as well, more people will be able to understand and see where I was coming from when I was trying to explain my other things. Okay, so thank you for watching, thank you for liking, thank you for sharing, thank you for subscribing. I am actually working full time now, and I have been all the way through the pandemic. I've actually been a key worker throughout, and so I can't actually make as many videos as I used to be able to do because there's lots of training in my job. And I still want to carry on with my videos, but I actually wanted to go sort of down maybe slightly different sort of path with it. So hopefully you'll still stay with me. And if not, well then I do wish you all the best of luck with everything, okay? Thanks. Bye for now.